Tennessee Senator, Ms. Marsha Blackburn. So far, I worry about this, Senator. I'm all for the tournament. We got to invite them here. Most of them come here. Folks come here, love America. I mean, that's what the feedback is terrific. But not all of them love America, as you know, and as I know. So why can't we get this FISA thing finally wrapped up and voted on, ma'am?
I am ready to get it wrapped up, and we're going to have President Trump come have lunch with us on Wednesday. We're looking forward to a good conversation about that. We need to get FISA across the finish line. We'd like to get Save America across the finish line, and if we need to attach some of those provisions. You know, I've talked to you about we're looking at breaking Save America apart and trying to move different provisions of it. But the American people overwhelmingly want voter ID, and they want you to be a citizen to have to vote. And they want to see FISA reauthorized so that we are able to investigate foreigners who are coming into the country and are trying to commit harm.
You know, I speak to groups here and there. Every group I talk to agrees, no matter who they are. It's not even political anymore. People want voter ID of some kind that proves citizenship. And what's going on in, other states, I don't want to get into the details of it, the laws are the laws, but people don't like it. They don't like to see this thing linger on and on and on. And the point is, why can't this pass? And I'd be honest with you, Senator, certain Republican senators are, they're blocking the doorway here. And I wish they would accede to what the majority of the party in the country want instead of just being obstructionist.
And of course, we can pass voter ID. We can pass U.S. citizenship. That's what passed in the House. We can pass that in the Senate. And this is why we're talking about breaking it apart. You and I've talked about my Election Security Partnership Act, incentivizing states to actually check their voter rolls against the SAVE database that DHS has that lists everybody who is not a citizen, but they're here on a visa, or they're a permanent resident, or maybe they're here illegally. But these are people that are not entitled to vote. And we don't want them to be voting in our elections. And of course, you've had thousands of people. The 26 states that use that system, thousands of people who are not citizens that had been registered to vote through Motor Voter. And it's important to get them off those lists.
So the idea is, again, and yes, you've said it several times, and I like it. The idea is you would provide some funding, some grants, whatever, that then would qualify for the reconciliation fiscal process, which just 50 plus the vice president would be 51. I mean, I'm all for it. I don't want some of our Republican senator friends to stand in the way. Good ideas have many good sponsors. Take you, for example. If they don't like the major sponsor, maybe they'll go into the Senate sponsors. I mean, what I'm talking about. Just because you don't like Donald Trump on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays doesn't mean you should vote against a good idea, namely yours and others. I had Senator Scott on the radio. He's with you on this stuff. We've got to get stuff through, though.
Yes, indeed we do. And I think we should take these bills to the floor every single week and call the week a vote.
Yes.
I think also we need to start taking a continuing resolution to the floor every single week because the Democrats have said they want a government shutdown when we get to September 30th.
Yeah.
They are planning to shut it down. They've done it 3 times before since Donald Trump was sworn in. They are eat up with Trump derangement syndrome. It is not what the American people want. And people are sick and tired of politicians that get elected and then just because they feel like it helps them personally, they vote against things that are good for the country. And people are sick of it. And quite frankly, I am glad they are sick of it because there are some of us that work every single day trying to improve the life of Americans.
Yep.
Every day I say, what can I do today that is going to make the lives of Tennesseans better? And Larry, that is where my energy and my passion and my focus is. It is time to move these bills.
Got it.
The American people are tired of waiting.
Yep, you're right. You're right, ma'am. They need a spiritual transformation. Actually, what they need is a defeat at the polls. Anyway, Senator Marsha Blackburn, thank you. As always, love that little riff. Terrific stuff. All right, folks.